Hey guys, Solus here. I wanted to play some chess today, and so I'm gonna play some Blitz. Hopefully I do well. I'm currently in Blitz rated around 1100, so you'll kind of get the quality of occasionally I'll blunder, and that's just what we get from this. Um, but we've been climbing fairly well, and the goal is always to climb some more, and we'll see where we go. And we'll get into a game. I'll probably play a few here and have a blast, see what happens. Looks like first game I got white. I've been playing a lot of e4 more. I was generally concerned about e4 for a while. I kept running into potential ideas with having like the Sicilian played against me. And those aren't my favorite because I kind of know nothing about them. F4 is not the correct move here. I think I'm going to play it anyway. Get some extra development out. I don't see much for punishment, but I can develop. Oh, I did not mean to pre-move. Remember when I said mistakes were going to be made? They're gonna get made. That entirely sucks. Wasn't the plan at all. Now my king's really weak, obviously. But the position's not equal. Material's equal. That's gonna be terrifying, but I do have this open file working, and where do I want my bishop? I'm gonna play here, but there's no like point. Maybe I should play here anyway. If they capture, I can open my rook. Don't really have the time to think right now, so I guess I'll do that and help block the bishop check. And then I'll try to shuffle my pieces over and see if we can get some attack down the king side. I would be heavily surprised if they short castled, but it would be useful. This allows the queen in. Not gonna allow them that tempo. This hangs a pawn if I move my queen, but I'm not the most worried about it. I just need a little more oomph on this side of the board. So I'm gonna play it anyway. It'll hang a pawn. I'm gonna deal with those repercussions later. Probably just kick the knight back out, and I could do a little dance, but that's defended by the bishop currently. I'm threatening to take the bishop now. Even if that comes in. Now this knight's hanging. Where's the knight gonna go? Back? Well, that feels like a bad move. Well, it doesn't feel useful, at least. In such a bad position, I'm just gonna focus on trading off the pieces. They're definitely gonna capture that pawn now. I forgot to protect it when I could. That's not an issue for me. Easy. Hold on. It still hangs a pawn, but like I'm not the most worried at the end of the world. They should take that pawn. I'll probably go here. I don't know if I want to play there. I think I have to at the current moment though. I have no way to kind of punish anything right now. That hangs a pawn back. Is it good? It hangs up multiple pawns. So outright, I can take this, but they're probably going to come attack this. So what if I just take this pawn instead? and just kind of harass the king over here. This pawn's hanging. Not the most worried. Yes, but do I have any moves? Not the most. I can play here. It doesn't like trap the queen or anything. It lets me attack the king a bit harder. There's this check. I'll go attack the knight. It can't do anything to me. Not with any real effect. And you can kind of see the basis of where a lot of my mistakes come in, because I looked for the check after I made a move. But frankly, a lot of the problems that I could possibly ignore here. I want to play something better, but I think I'll play here. I don't really have time to think anymore. I did a lot of mistake making, and I'm just currently gonna have to deal with that. Materials equal king safety, and activity is kind of whatever. I can ask for a queen trade. Do I want a queen trade? Well, of course not. I'm not under any specific threats. I don't have time to think. I don't know why I'm thinking. Okay. I'm just gonna get out of here. Activate my rook. Oh. Well, that's probably just what I'm gonna do. I'll take back. I'll get my rook to the second rank. I'll probably just start trying to advance the pawn for now. There's a bit of a tactic in the position that I don't want to bother to get into. So I don't have time to think. Push P. I have P. I gotta push the P. That was a mistake. That was a huge mistake, actually, playing that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do anymore. Here probably. Genuinely unsure about how I'm gonna handle this position. Probably just get my king a bit more active. Drop here. That's annoying. It continues to be annoying because I'm continuing to be an idiot. Under pressure. I can take that. There's no runaway pawn threat. That was a bad move. That was a useless move. Kind of a pointless move overall. Just trying to sneak the drawback out of here. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Bit of a draw. And frankly, given the dumbassery that I pulled first. Look, gotta draw out of it. I'll take it. I didn't lose on time. I actually got a couple points out of that somehow. Just a higher rated opponent. Let's let's show a bit of a more impressive start. For black, I've been playing the Scandinavian. I've not been doing anything crazy special. Just kind of been playing the game. I don't have a lot of knowledge of like the book moves for the Scandinavian. I just know there's a handful of moves that I can play, and it's pretty easy to play the Scandinavian. They still haven't gone for this knight move here. Giving my pals, my buddies, my friends, the bishop pair. Not the most sound choice ever, usually, but I try to build up quite a bit on the light squares and see if I can get anything for that. Excuse me. Good heavens. No easy moves here, so I'll just give my king some room. Trying to put pressure on this knight. I don't see a big issue coming out of it. It's well protected. I won't be opening my king too badly. I want something more, but I don't think I have anything more. So we'll push towards an endgame, see if I can get anything out of it. I feel like I can take some space and just begin kind of pushing on the king side. Maybe I'll go for an attack. What do we got? Another large weakness to my gameplay is I don't know how to attack. I can reroute my knight, I can get my rooks kind of doubled up. I don't know what to take back with here. They're relatively forced to take. They can defend with the queen, but that looks like a lame time. They choose to block. Okay. I'll go with the knight route this way. That's not really a threat. Not when a piece is hanging. So I feel like I can do this, and if they take, I can take back. That's a check. Damn. I'm continuing to not be the smartest of the bunch. I'll take that. This is still under fire. The pawn behind it's under fire, so I might be able to get some of my material back, but not all of it. I move my rook, start firing down the line. But yeah, that sucks. That being a check. Not keeping my eyes open. Clearly I'm in great form today. I don't see any forced queen trades. They gotta move the bishop. I don't see them moving it. There's no way this doesn't benefit me being up a piece and then winning some pawns back. So I'm going to do it. Feel like I'm more worried about the... I'll go for this pawn. I'm up a piece. I'm not exactly great on the pawn scenario, but I can open up some stuff. My bishop feels like I'm keeping myself safe. That gets me a rook trade. which can't generally be bad. I'm gonna go not there. That would be bad. I'm gonna go here, strike, lash out with my pawn. There is a back rank threat, but I cover that square in a lot of ways. I mean, standing there. I expect them to push. It feels like a fair move on their part. That continues to definitely not be good. Yeah, that can't be the right choice. Up a piece. I'm going to work back on getting all these pawns taken care of. Material is equal, but this should work out for me. Especially if I can get that rook to be less of a problem. They're giving me this pawn. They're giving me... I don't know how I feel about my rook endgame skill, about my bishop endgame skill, but this shouldn't be a problem. They can't touch any of my pieces. I can just go after this. If I'm careful, I can go after these pawns. I'm gonna get my king a little closer. Again, I don't think they can do too much, so I'm gonna keep my king over on this side of the board. I do not have absolute knowledge. That hangs a pawn. I can bring my bishop back in here. They have a check that would separate. But if I have a check, they can't do anything about it. And I should have a bit of a zugzwang to win this outside pawn here. Yeah, here. So I get this pawn as well. They can't touch any of my pawns because my bishop and pawn combo. They're gonna probably really shoot for resigning. I had an expectation for stalemate, but they didn't go for it. Wow. Another game I'm not too proud of, but we did pull a win on that one. It was pretty good. Cool. Striking back at the London system, getting some development. I'm just gonna crack down on it now. Get my knights out. A lot of my pawns are going to be on the light squares, so trading off this bishop doesn't scare me, but I wonder if there's a reason to keep it. I'm not going to think about it too much. I'm going to populate the light squares with my pawns and go about my day. Nothing too scary about it for now. Bishop. Get rid of that strong London bishop. They're just continuing to kind of give me what I want. I don't... Well, can't allow them to keep the bishop pair, right? They're going to attack me on the light squares, but without that dark square bishop, I don't see a huge deal coming out of it. This will help keep that knight out. They're going to continue to barrel down this line. Get my rook to the center and try and crack open. But no, I don't know if I want to. I probably shouldn't wander off. I have a lot of material on this side of the board. Let's just move a little. Yeah, that knight was an idea, but I'm not afraid to to just kind of... Where do I want my knight? I could go this way. I could go forward. Backward is generally not the right move. But what are they going to do? I'd rather not ruin my pawn structure voluntarily. And I can reroute my knight. That's a lot of knight moves, but it's going to be okay. There's a skewer there. Don't want to run into that being an issue. I feel pretty solid. If they really push in to get in here with that pawn, so that I can't get out, I'll be a little bit sad about it. But I'll just reroute this way. I have ideas. Not all of them are good. That's for certain. They're thinking a lot on how to keep this attack going. I gotta pick up on time. I have ideas to attack this pawn over here. And hang my queen. And hang my queen. That's the kind of... That's the kind of content we're really looking for here. How many times can I hang my queen in 2 games? Pins. I see a pin on this. Well. Okay. So let's just make it so that it's not an issue, right? I mean, yeah. I'll put my queen here. Get my knight the ability to kind of breathe. Unanticipated failure of my own volition. There's some sacrifice in here. I see it. Mate's not a threat, so I'm gonna work on cracking this open then. I don't want to hang my queen, so I'm gonna run into some big issues. That was a horrible move. They're gonna find it. It's gonna be sad. Mate's not being threatened. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is my 1-2 response, and that loses me the game. Show not my best defense. If they do rook takes, which they didn't, then I mean whoop-de-doo. I can't move. Can't move this knight. What do I do? I don't have anything to do. That's a resign on my part. Not my greatest. Dang. Fine. Sicilian. I know nothing. I know so little. What I do know is that I really don't like that knight. And that I kind of like taking space on this side of the board. Getting castled and out of the way. Just gonna kind of push in here. This is a move that I don't tend to enjoy. Well, that can't be bad. That can't be bad at all. I mean, they're just gonna give me that. Sure. I'll trade a whole bunch of stuff in the center of the board. Am I worried about that? Kind of. But it's not the end of the world. What do I want though? Probably this. I see push. Not the most concerned about it. I can go for winning the pawn. Bishops versus knights. Not my best plan, especially when this pawn is hanging at the end of the exchange. That is a move. I got some pass pawns going on here. Let's yeah, let's check that out, right? I don't want to hang my knight, which I know is a possibility if I'm a bit too foolish. So let's just where do I want this knight in the meantime? I can always drop it back. So let's go. Dang, I guess I'm dropping back now, right? This doesn't stop anything from happening. Probably gonna play c3. Yeah, so like this, they can move that knight now, which sucks. But I want to keep those pawns passed and out there. I don't see any good discoveries. Yeah, I don't see any good discoveries from this knight move, because I can just move back. They're inspecting it. They're feeling it. They're inspecting it. They're believing in it. Yeah. But that does nothing. They didn't even attack my bishop. They want some tempos, but I can go for nothing. Dang, they took that move away from me. Is that bishop worth more than their knight? Right now, I think it could be. I think it could be worth more. I'm gonna get this out of the way. Is the knight trapped? No. Do I want to allow them to take? I'm gonna go for this. They'll take. I'll take. There's no checks. This is not a pretty position, but it feels decent and safe. So like I'm not worried about it. There's some pressure on this pawn. I'm gonna go for. Okay. I see some threats in the position. I don't need to take that. Straight up. I don't. I'm gonna see if I can get this bishop out of the way. I'm gonna take that. And then I'll take back. That can't be the best move, right? That check feels like it doesn't matter. But I'll feel slightly better in the end about it. Bishop takes is a thing. Yeah. I'm playing on the dark squares. I feel mostly fine. I'm gonna start investing in these pawns a bit more. Not a big deal in my book. I don't see this being the largest threat on the planet. Could be, but I don't see it. So simple as simple does. Defend the pawn. I also could have pushed. That's just an unfortunate call here. Oh, fuck, that's mate. I can't even take back. I can't even take back. Yeah, that sucks. They found mate as well. Okay. Damn. Low on time. Low on time. Not good. I really needed to push c2 so that was defended, and I didn't. God damn it. I really hope this even is. Like, I know so little. I know that I hate this knight. And I know that it's not something I want to leave on the board. I can't even take back. What in the world are they playing right now? Like, these aren't real moves. Yes, and when they play there, if they push, yeah, like I like, yes, I see it. So I mean, I'll just go here instead. I'll push. It is pinned. I guess that's their goal. But like minimal threats. Let's get that queen out of the way. I can take this pawn now. Yes. I see the move. This knight begins to falter. It's not going to survive. So they want to take, and take. I mean, this knight's what I would call annoying, and my bishop is not going to serve much purpose in the future. So, oh, they took the knight back. Well, now what? I mean, now what? I don't know. I don't know. This is gonna be a awkward game. That's not real. I don't believe in it. I feel like I should have put my queen there. I should have. I could have. And eventually, someday, I would have. But I did not. I can go here. And how do they? How do they defend the rook? Trying to crack open the center is an idea. That's a good thought. But this is kind of fine for me. I can play here. I can grab not a pawn. Don't make any mistakes like that. But like, I'm not under threat of. I'm under so much threat because I can't put my brain to think of anything. That sucks. They'll take this pawn, and now I'm just in a horrid position. Yeah, no, that's not my favorite. Someone's got to go on an attack. Someone's got to get out of here, man. Yeah, that's brutal. Outside H-pawn. Outside H-pawn. Highly unfortunate. Quite bothersome. That feels like an unnecessary move to me. Because now I can defend my pawn and attack this. can't be defended. And can't be defended by the queen, though. That can't be a good move. That lets me do this. I get to harass. They're really, ironically, they're really lucky they moved that rook. If they block with any piece, I get this check. So they then have to move the rook after this check. And they'll block here. Grab a pawn. I need to castle first. We're gonna castle first. But I can start wrenching out these pawns now. This one's hanging, I know. Life is miserable. But they refuse. I mean, they refuse. They're refusing to take that pawn. I feel like that's the reason I will continue to have a decent amount of pressure. I don't support that move. Or, no, I don't support that move. Why would I do that? Are there any good discoveries? I don't think so. I don't think there's any good discoveries. I think they're losing all their pieces now. I need to keep making moves, which is the unfortunate aspect. I think I'm ready to trade. I'm ready to do something as far as trading goes. They're gonna put pressure here. I'm just not gonna let that happen. That's a queen trade, which means I can play a lot more simply now. And just kind of Viva la Vive. I don't know. I gotta keep the time going. Who knows, man? Who knows? They actually got what they wanted, which is the most unfortunate because I don't have any time to think right now. Sick discovery. That's my only move. They'll take that. I'll go here. And I'll lose everything. But maybe I can do something here. I think they only have one move. Let's see if they find it. Well, that just gives me the rook anyway. Yeah. Here. And then like here. Here. They can trade everything. Okay, looks like we're ending up in another draw. take the draw. Jeez, man. Ah, man. Okay, well. I think that's okay for now. That was not the greatest day of chess. Frankly, the most draws I think I've had in a set in like back to back. Well, thanks for hanging out. Clearly you got lost to find me here, but it was a fairly decent time. And we'll have better luck climbing in the future. All right. Bye-bye.